I'm Khensani Nobanda. I'm the Group Executive for Marketing and Corporate Affairs at Nedbank.
Khensani, you're always comfortable and confident. What's your secret? You need to share.
I have a good PR team who train me very, very well, but it also helps that I'm very passionate actually about the brand and the job that I do. So it almost doesn't feel like work at all a lot of times, right? Because I just love the products we have, I love our services, I love the brand, I love the impact that the brand has. So that really helps.
I love it. So why are we here today?
So we were here today to announce our brand ambassador for our 2023 Nedbank Cup campaign, Pitso Mosimane, the coach. And for us, Pitso was such an easy choice. One, I think around just showing South African excellence. This is someone who hasn't only been like successful in South Africa, he's been successful, you know, in Egypt, and now he's in Saudi Arabia. And I mean, you heard him. He's saying he's in the first division. He's already telling us what he's going to do with that team. So that excellence, I think, is inspiring. Two, I think, you know, Pitso represents someone who doesn't only think about success for himself, he thinks about the community. So even as we were talking to him and his team, he was talking about, okay, that's fine, you know, you can pay me this or that, but what are we going to do together in the community, which I think is beautiful. And a lot of people don't know this. Pitso himself actually told me the story. But his dad used to bank at Nedbank, and he's been banking at Nedbank for many years because his dad used to bank there. He told me that actually he sent his daughter to school through Nedbank. So we've had a relationship actually for
yeah,
exactly, like, you know, for a very long time. And then, you know, when people become brand ambassadors for brands, it's actually around saying to them, well done, it's giving you your flowers. And for us, choosing Pitso was to make sure that he knows that he's considered a legend and that he's done really well.
That actually makes perfect sense. But for the other four guys, what was the criteria or process for choosing them?
So I mean, we've worked with Shaba, Teko for some time, and like I say, not just in football, in many campaigns that we do, we work with a lot of brand ambassadors or influencers. For me, the first important thing about when you choose to work with someone is when they've shown you that they show up. And when I mean show up, I don't mean arrive, but arrive on time, arrive prepared, and then also believe in what you're doing with the actual organization that you're working with. And all four of those guys have shown us that they believe in the narrative that for us, which is about money well managed, can make a real difference in people's lives. They tell their stories so openly, and that's what we want, because we believe that the more they share their stories, hopefully other people learn and grow from listening to them. So that's actually why, you know, we chose them. And they haven't always been up, right? Like sometimes they've been down, and those stories, it's important to share them, because everyone thinks, Kishaba, I'm sure it's always been great for him. That's not true. Actually, there's been tough times, you know. So.
I've noticed. I don't know if you are aware or know this show, I Blew It.
Yes, I know.
So I want you to address that. What causes most people to be so rich at a point in time, and then they go back to their default settings in a matter of few years? What can Nedbank maybe assist businesses out there to avoid such a predicament?
You know, I always think in the stats, some of them are even worse. 2 out of 3 South Africans spend more than they earn. So forget even someone who wins $1 million and then blows it. Just the day-to-day lives of South Africans, I think we overspend. As a bank, and it's interesting we say that, we believe that there's too much consumerism, buy. And people need to start up thinking about the long-term investorism, start thinking about what are the things that are actually going to set me and my family up for the future. I think actually what happens is when you make money like that, take a step back before you spend it. Think about what's your vision for yourself? What's your vision for your family? What's your vision for your community, if that's what you want to do as well? And when you start really thinking about money in that way, instead of just a check comes in and money goes out, but really thinking about your vision for your future and how your money is going to play a role in helping you achieve that vision, that's important. And then I think what's also important, like I'm in the Instagram life, right? Let me tell you something. I'm on Instagram, I love Instagram, but it's important that you stay in your lane. Like when you look at what other people are doing, you can get confused, you can get caught up. Stay in your lane. I believe that I sit in the expo of the bank, and of course my boss, the CEO, earns more than me. I can't now be competing with my boss, right? I must stay in my lane, he's got his lane. As long as I do what's right for me, choose the choices that make sense for me, be sure of myself and the core of myself, you will make the right money decisions for yourself.
Now talking about the Nedbank Cup, what sets this particular one different from other tournaments out there?
I think a couple of things. Firstly, when you look at the teams that get an opportunity to play in the Nedbank Cup, they come from the lower divisions and they end up playing big teams, Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates. That level of confidence that it gives a player, whether or not you win actually, is incredible, and it really sets up teams that are unknown to have names. I say to this day, the reason Baroka FC is known as it is because of Nedbank Cup. You look at TS Galaxy, there are a couple of those teams. So I mean, that's the first thing. It really showcases teams. It showcases players. I mean, Coach Pitso spoke about how he actually scouted Teko from when Teko was playing in the Nedbank Cup, and I think that's like incredibly important, because how are you ever going to get scouted if there's no opportunity like that? I think the third thing for the teams that, in fact, overall, it's got the richest prize money. So if you look at even from the team from the second division that doesn't win, you get some money from Nedbank that hopefully, as a management of that team, hopefully you actually reinvest it into your team to make sure you grow. So, that investment from a financial perspective into the teams is very important. So whether it's the 7 million check for winning or it's just participating, you do get some money. And then finally, obviously, you get to play on the continent. There is nothing like the experience of any team being able to play on the continent and really starting to actually realize these are the opportunities out there. And then also as Coach Pitso said, sometimes as South Africans we underestimate ourselves, and I think playing on the continent gives teams the opportunity to realize just how good they are.
Let's do something illegal, hopefully. I want us to steal customers from these other banks. What sets Nedbank apart from other banks?
For me, it is actually a basic thing. We believe that when you manage your money better, you can change your life, your family's life. And instead of just saying spend, we actually ask you to think about managing your money better, and we can partner with you on that journey to help you manage your money better. And what does managing your money better mean? It means spend wisely, borrow responsibly, and save smartly, and we can help you do that.
I love it. And then now we are doing the 16th edition.
Yes.
So meaning that there were 15th editions before this one. What would make this one more epic than the other previous ones?
Look, I think every year for me, firstly, you look at the ambassador we have, right? So to have Coach Pitso as the ambassador already starts to tell you the level that we're taking it to. And then the Nedbank Cup final itself, we always put on a show. For us, when we think about the Nedbank Cup final, we never think about it as competing with other football tournaments in South Africa. We think about it globally. So we look at what's happening in the US with the halftime show, with the Super Bowl. So we always put on some level of entertainment where it's not just about the football, but it's even broader than that and stuff. And then I think the campaign itself, we think about football almost as a metaphor for how people spend their money. The choices that you make on a football field are the choices that you should make with your money. So having these ambassadors talk about their own small things that they started, big decisions that they made, and how they've impacted their lives, I think makes it special and different.
So for people that can't get enough of Khensani and they still want to follow you everywhere you go, so give us your socials. Where can we get hold of you?
Yeah, so on Instagram at Khensani Nobanda, Khensi without an H. On Twitter, also at Khensani Nobanda. On LinkedIn, Khensani Nobanda.
It's a pleasure. I wish we could talk the whole day. You have such a bubbly spirit. I wish you can just infect me with that. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.